watching WADL, entertainment for everyone.
Good afternoon, Detroit, Michigan, United States of America, and around the world. This is the John Zia Oram Show, news and politics. I am really appreciated for WADL and Kevin Adele and Adele Broadcasting to work this thing out where it was my dream to come on and do a show and talk to the people, all kind of people, because I've been doing it in business, in communities, and church, and everywhere else for the last 40-some years. My dad taught me well, and my mom taught me well. She's still around, 95 years old. And I'm so blessed to be here. We're gonna be with you every Sunday, 1 o'clock, either be going to the church or coming back from the church. And we are here, and I'm so proud to have Michael Kurtz, a friend of mine that during the Obama administration, I can say that I was very proud to introduce into the Obama administration, that 2007 or 8 we met, I think, something like that. Mm-hmm. And today you are with Michael Bloomberg, and you're a young man. When people look at you, they think you're just like out there, but you got a good experience. Welcome, my first guest, to John Zia Oram Show here in Detroit. And my next guest will be coming up as Coleman Young Jr. So my history goes back a long way, and we're going to have this show every Sunday with you guys, and we're going to take phone calls, we're going to be with you, and we're going to have the have and the have-not guest here. So it's not only going to be experts, and it's not going to be all what people think, and you know, what do you think of the virus, or what do you think of the economy, and every expert does a good job, but I'm going to take that young Joe and young Barb off the street and bring them in here and talk to them about that, because that's what we normally do every day, because we, you know, with the people. So Michael, welcome to John Zia Oram first show.
John, it is very good to be back with you, and thank you for bringing me on as your first guest on your first show here. I'm incredibly honored.
You know, I had a long list, and that's it. I'm calling you, and they all come, and I hopefully will benefit from that. So this whole show, Michael, is to benefit the communities and the people and the families are affected, good and bad. It doesn't matter, as long as we work together. So tell us a little bit about this guy. You know, they keep saying billionaire. I'm very for it. Worth billions of dollars, Michael Bloomberg. I didn't know these other candidates are on there are broke. They do very well in their life. They have a lot of money, and that's fine. It's a pleasure to meet people when they start from the bottom up. Because of you, I had met Michael Bloomberg and spoke with him first time he came to Michigan, and he told me a very incredible story. He was bankrupt at age 39, started his career again, and I asked me, how was you doing? And I told him, you know, I came here because Michael Kurtz asked me to come, and I wanted to meet you at Easter Market in Detroit. And we start talking about moms. And my mom is, you know, she's been ill, and he started telling me his story. So we kind of triggered in a 36, 40 seconds or less type of thing. I don't know where I stand today on this politic part of it, but I have been on both sides of the aisle, as you know, most of my life. So tell us a little bit, how did you join the campaign, and what's going on in the campaign, and what's going on? I mean, so we can learn. I'm kind of nervous with it because that's my first show, and I'm not nervous at anything.
I know, you're usually not nervous approaching any situation here.
Especially when Barack Obama used to joke with me.
Yeah, once you have that partnership, it's easy to clear a lot of the other bars in life.
I'll probably get him on here one day, so.
But yeah, so with Michael Bloomberg, as you kind of mentioned, you know, he was fired from the company that he was working for when he was 39 years old. So he's unemployed and looking for what he can do next, and that's when he started Bloomberg LP. So this wasn't like a young startup company that he did, you know, when he was in his college dorm that you see with a lot of these younger billionaires,
or his dad gave him the millions,
where you get a nice, you know, $400 million bridge loan to start up your own company, and then manage to go bankrupt with about 7 companies thereafter. So he's done this, but in addition to that, you know, as you talked about, he didn't have an inheritance from his father. He His dad never made more than $6,000 a year in his entire life when he was growing up. He grew up in a middle-class family, and so his success story is building this company into a company that employs 20,000 people all across the world in good-paying jobs. And he's the exact opposite of Donald Trump. He's not a billionaire or just a wealthy guy that stiffs his contractors and doesn't bankrupt casinos. He's a very, very true to his word man, and when he goes and when he decided to run for mayor of New York, it was because he had specific policies that he wanted to accomplish there, and you were dealing with a city that was reeling from the 9/11 attacks, and he had to come into that city and he had to give assurances to the public, and he had to work diligently to rebuild that city, to ensure public safety, and to make economic growth happen, and that's what he did there.
Was that his first political job when he ran for mayor?
That was.
And he could have, is it a limited term there, limit term?
So there were term limits
Or he could have stayed
in New York.
Then he came back somehow or something?
So actually the city council approved him to run for a third term there.
Wow.
They were supposed to be termed out after 2 years, and they gave him approval to run for 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may sound biased here because Michael and I worked together on the Obama-Biden administration, but this is a really down the line 50-50 show. We're going to be very fair with a lot of things and talk to a lot of people about different political belief and what's going on. But what I've been seeing in the Democratic Party, as you know, worked for his dad in 1974, Coleman Young Sr., and helped, didn't know. I was a young man back then too, and just running around Detroit streets and saying, Gribbs was running and this one was running and da-da-da. How did you come involved with Michael Bloomberg?
Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan, and I did leave the state for about 10 years, and I was traveling around and I was doing political campaigns. Obviously, you talked about the Obama campaigns that we worked on together. But after the 2016 cycle, and after that election day where we voted for Donald Trump here in Michigan, I had not been living here, but I kind of got the strong urge to want to move back to Michigan and get to work in state here. It did not resonate with me that Michigan should have been voting for Donald Trump, and so I thought, we got to come back here. We have to do good work, and we have to talk to people about the policies of the Democratic Party and how we make those policies relate to them on a level that resonates with them.
Caught a lot of people by surprise, I guess, but Donald Trump was around before Donald Trump was around, but today he's the president of the United States. So when he's the president of the United States, I guess a president can do whatever they want to do. You and I are not used to the type of the thing. We had worked with few presidents in and out of the White House like it was nothing but volunteers working there. You had a job. I volunteered and sat on many issues, not inside the White House, but with administration people and talk about the people. And your parents are totally opposite of you. I know that part, because you don't just follow into the system, you do your job. So Michael Bloomberg is really a new kid on the block in this politic thing. And I'm really personally speaking, that I'm not appreciative personally. I'm not going to talk like any other host here. So that what the Democratic Party is doing on the stage right now. So, but we're going to come right back and come back to you.
Looking for incredible speed and a great value? Xfinity gives you both. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet. Plus, with Xfinity XFi, you get the amazing coverage, control, and protection you need. Call 1-800-800-0335 today to learn more or get started with an amazing deal on Xfinity Internet for only $20 a month for 12 months. You'll get the best internet experience for your home with fast speed to power all your devices. But that's not all. With XFi, you'll even get control of your home Wi-Fi network, see who's online, and even pause Wi-Fi to connected devices. Just call 1-800-800-0335 to get started with Xfinity Internet for just $20 a month for 12 months. And ask how to get XFi Advanced Security for free when you get the XFi Gateway. That's a $72 a year value. Get the speed you want and the value you want. All risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-800-0335. Xfinity. Simple, easy, awesome.
Checkers has a new mix and match 2 for $3 deal. You can get 2 hot and spicy chicken sandwiches, 2 delicious crispy fish sandwiches, or switch it up with one of each for just $3. We're talking $3 for flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock and tender, crave-worthy chicken with a kick. No matter what you're hungry for, we've got you covered. No need to thank us. Mix and match 2 Checkers spicy chicken or crispy fish sandwiches for just $3. Get Checkers delivered.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
The Historic's First Jurisdiction of Michigan 91st Annual Ministers and Workers Conference. Opening with a pre-musical Saturday, February 29th, 2020, 7 p.m. at New St. Paul Tabernacle, directed by Sister Sherry Watson Robertson. March 2nd and March 3rd, Bishop-Designate Matthew L. Brown.
The Bible tells me that a man brought his lunatic son to Jesus' disciples.
On Thursday, March 5th, is Women's Day, beginning at 9 a.m. with Mother Burrell. Friday, March 6th, Good Shepherd's Day with Bishop Edwin
They
Walker.
gave up all of their worldly goods.
The Official Address with Bishop P.A. Brooks, Sunday, March 8th at 3 p.m.
Like 60 years, but it's gonna be over after a while.
All services will be held at the Cathedral Conference Center. 10325 East Jefferson Ave, March 2nd through the 8th at 7 p.m. nightly.
Welcome back to John Zia Oram Show and WADL. It's Sunday. Good afternoon, everybody. We're back here with Michael Kurtz, Michigan campaign manager, could say, or something for Michael Bloomberg's campaign. That a lot of people heard of Bloomberg, but it was for other reasons, because of the mayor in New York, or the Bloomberg TV, or the Bloomberg LP, and everything. But you, seems like in your group that I saw just a few months ago, that you assembled a heck of a group in Michigan, and you guys are working hard. And it's kind of funny for me when the media comes out and says, oh, how do you do that? How do you start a business so fast? Where has he been? Where's she been? What is he doing? I didn't know Donald Trump, President Trump, had so many businesses going when he ran. You know, he jumped into, I think there was 14 or 16 guys on the stage, or gals. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if there was a female there. I don't know. I can't recall it during the campaign at the start. And things hit. Michael Bloomberg, what is his agenda?
So his agenda is to work for, the people of Michigan and for the people of this country. We recognize that, this economy isn't necessarily working for everyone, and that, the wage growth and development that we've seen in certain parts of cities is not being, affected towards the entire swath of cities. Also, he's going to continue the work that he did in his post-mayoral career with his philanthropy on key issues like climate change and the environment and gun safety. These are issues that he's led on and that the American people want to continue the progress that we've seen on.
He doesn't get paid for those, right?
No.
Because
as he said, he obviously has amassed a good amount of wealth over the course of his career, but his pledge is that he wants to get rid of all of that wealth, and he wants to donate that to causes that don't benefit himself, like Trump and his charities, where he's buying portraits of himself with money that's meant for charity. Michael Bloomberg donates to causes that better people's lives.
So Michael Bloomberg, when the media and other pundits said that he's trying to buy the campaign as a political guy, as a person been around, of Chaldean descent, an ethnic descent, an immigrant descent, succeeded in America, okay? What I understand from him, don't understand, I don't know the person well enough, that he's trying to share his wealth with people instead of take away from the people. But always time will show, right? So it's not like he's trying to buy the presidential campaign. I'm not backing, I'm just saying it. My argument is with my Trump people. They all coming at me in Oakland County, in Macomb County, and they go, data. And after I'm done talking, they go, you make sense. I'm not against Trump. I just don't vote for people like Trump, even if it's my brother. It doesn't matter. And I get a lot of people to vote. The thing is, it seems like this, I should say, young man, a little older than me, he's coming in and he's saying, listen, I'm running for office. I'm going to spend a lot of my money, my own money, instead of, you know, how much money you and I raise around these political stuff. And I want to share it with you and share my belief and my dreams and businesses. If you have 20,000 employees, you say, he wants to have 300 million people in his camp, in his to work with him, to share with him. Because he had said, and I seen it live in front of me, and I can't believe it, there's a person like that would run, you know, because we got Bill Gates and we got these Warren and whatever his name is, and all these guys got billions of dollars, and you know, you got ball players having billions now, okay? They're not running and saying, we want to share it with you. What is his philosophy when you talking to him and when you accepted the job, when he says, I want to share this? Yeah. It sounds like I'm selfish, but it's true.
No, I mean, so we do. We have the resources to run the campaign that I think we as Democrats want to run against Donald Trump. We need to beat Donald Trump, and when Mike was looking at getting into this race, and as you said, he did get into this race late because we were nervous that we did not have a candidate in the field that could take down Donald Trump. So Mike came in and he made a pledge that he is going to run for president, but what he is building and the staff that he is putting on the ground in these states, we have 100 staff on the ground here in Michigan, that will be funded through Election Day regardless of who the nominee is. If we believe that he is best positioned to run against Donald Trump, and I'm going to work every hour of every day until March 10th here and in the states thereafter to make sure he is the nominee. But if he's not, Mike is going to fund this for the general nominee regardless.
But to respect the people like you working there, thousands of them around the country, I think some of these candidates should watch out because you guys put a lot of hard work at this. You're a Democrat, you're a believer. So accusing a candidate of being for himself and he's trying to buy an election. Yeah.
He's not trying to buy
You're not buying anything. The employees I see, the volunteers that you guys have, they're not buying anything. These are hardcore people and being on the sidewalk, being in these snowbanks, being in this ice cold weather like in Michigan or New York or whatever it is.
He's not buying anything in this election, and I think that's a little unfair to the voters to say that. You know, we can communicate a message, and if that message is resonating with voters in Michigan, that's of their own decision making. So if we're communicating that and they're liking what Mike is saying and what the campaign is based upon, that's their choice to go vote for Mike in the polls. So to say that he's buying this is absolutely false.
I don't think the voters are saying that. I think other people are saying. So I want to thank you so much for being a guest here on our first show. Always.
Thank you, John.
I like you guys' style, not the employees, the managers, the volunteers. It's not about just the candidate, it's the people behind the candidate that counts. And that's what Barack Obama used to tell us all the time. When people said to me, what do you mean you're going to have this guy named Barack Hussein Obama when he's black, he's this, and he's Hussein? Then in 2012, you know how hard we work. And they go, what do you mean he's going to win with a name like Barack Hussein Obama? I said, no, he's the president of the United States of America now. He's not going to, and he won again. And it's my late dad, God bless him, that said to me before he passed, right in November, he said, if they have 4 terms, Barack Obama will win 4 terms. So I'm a big believer in a team like you. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, John.
At Checkers, we always believe in going for seconds. And now you can get 2 spicy chicken sandwiches, 2 crispy fish sandwiches, or 1 of each for just $3. No need to thank us. Mix and match 2 Checkers spicy chicken or crispy fish sandwiches for $3. Get Checkers delivered.
Can you feel it, Detroit? An election is coming, and it's time to let your voices be heard. Voting in Detroit has never been easier. You can now register and vote on the same day. You no longer need a reason to vote absentee, and we've increased the number of vote centers. See your Election Connection newsletter for your polling location and vote, because your vote matters. Nominate a candidate for president during the presidential primary. Vote Tuesday, March 10th.
We always think about women getting breast cancer, but we really forget about the men. And I know there are factors like age, family, history, obesity, diet.
In the U.S., more than 2,600 new cases of breast cancer are diagnosed in men, and about 500 men will die from breast cancer each year.
Go get checked. I know I need to go get checked as well, so I'm telling you, but it's for all of us.
For more information, email Coleman Greater Detroit at info@colemangreaterdetroit.org.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my passion has always been to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. TV has helped MyPillow become the amazing company that it is today. So my employees and I want to thank you with some of our best prices ever. Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on TV specials. You'll get deep discounts on MyPillows, mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99 for only $29.99 with your promo code.
People with intellectual and developmental disabilities have heard "you can't" too many times.
You can't join in. You can't do that. It's about time. Be heard. Go where you want. Join in. Live. People with disabilities have the right to be active members of the community. Inclusion starts with you. Open up.
Learn more at michigan.gov/DD Council.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
Welcome back to John Zia Oram. We have a special guest with us, Senator Coleman Young Jr. or Coleman Alexander Young Jr.
It's fine. You can do no wrong. You all right? It's good to see you, man.
How you doing, Coleman?
Hey, man.
Thank you for being on my first show ever
me,
on a television. I mean, years ago I used to be on there, but I wasn't being paid like I am.
Yeah, like you big time now. What you trying to say? You so sharp, I touch, I cut myself now. Is that what you trying to tell me now? Huh?
No,
You the
I'm
next
excited
level.
to have you here, a young man that your dad, your mom, were legends in the United States, in America, in Detroit, especially in the Black History Month. And I want to understand it more from a Black History Month person like you, instead of me talking about it, because I've been in this city over 56 years operating businesses, still here. And I got a bunch of things I want to talk to you about, and this ain't going to be a normal show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The heat's on, right?
The heat is on. The heat is on.
See? So you and I are going to talk.
Normal ain't natural,
So tell me, what does Black History Month means to you?
Well, Black History Month means to me is really just a celebration of all the great accomplishments that we've had as African-American people. You know, not just in terms of what we've done during slavery, but in abolition and through Jim Crow, but afterwards. I mean, you could talk about, you know, whether you talk about Martin Luther King Jr., whether you talk about Malcolm X, whether you talk about Nat Turner, whether you talk about Harriet Tubman, just to name a few people, leaders or revolutionaries that have done the work. I mean, you can even talk about Mum Bet, who was the first person who actually sued and was successful to get out of slavery in Massachusetts. I mean, there's just such a rich history. If you're talking about Detroit particularly, I mean, this is the place, the home of the Underground Railroad. They're talking about Thornton Blackburn, who basically who crossed the Canadian River, and his case.
I'm going to tell you, on Bablo, I had a tunnel.
Yeah.
In Amherstburg, we had a Black History Museum there.
And we have the premier Black History Museum, the Charles H. Wright African American Museum of History in the city of Detroit, the premier museum. And my father built that too.
I was going to ask you this. Yeah. What would your father say today, what's going on in this world?
Well, I mean, I think that my father would say we've made a lot of progress. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, you know, may he rest in peace, but may the great late veteran live and rest. But I think the fact that Barack Obama being elected 2 terms as African-American president is a huge accomplishment. I think that represents progress. I think the fact that now we're talking about reparations is a serious topic of discussion within political discourse. But I also think there's as much as we made strides, I think there's a lot of things that we need to do, particularly within the police brutality issue. I think in terms of wages, Black women make 61 cents on the dollar to their white counterparts. Black families make 59 cents on the dollar. Black home ownership is lower now than it was when housing discrimination was legal. So that means it's lower now than it was before the Fair Housing Act passed in 1968. We still have an issue with voting rights because they got rid of Section 5.
Why is that,
well, because they got rid of, there was a case called...
Why so much denial, in the, especially in the Democratic Party, when they said we for a Black?
Right.
Then when you look at behind the scene on their Senate vote, senators, especially down south and Alabama and Georgia, New Orleans, and these people, and they vote the other way. Why is this still going on after an immigrant like me, or like my guy Ed, came to America, and doors were wide open like for us? Why the race issue keeps going? Is it who's it benefiting from it?
Well, I think basically if we're talking about from a pure political standpoint, when Democrats expand the map...
business, both.
When the Democrats expand the map, they win. Republicans win, they shrink the map. So the reason why you have Republicans that are so busy trying to purge the voting rolls to keep Black people from voting is because the less people that vote, that means it's a better chance for them winning. And also it's because of the Shelby v. Holder decision that basically got rid of the pre-clearance law. So every time, states in the South and other states across the country, including Michigan, decided to change the voting laws, they had to get pre-clearance from the federal government first. They got rid of that. So now a lot of these voting things that are changing, like they had something where they had take your souls to the polls, or they had people register on in churches and organize and go register to vote. They stopped doing that.
Like in 2016 in Florida, right?
Right. They make it harder for people to be able to vote because it guarantees that they're going to win. You have the thing that's going on in Georgia. If it had not been for voter purging by Kemp, I think it was Brian Kemp in Georgia, Stacey Abrams would be governor by now.
Today. So we're going to talk about it a little more of this on a national level. When you say the Republicans are purging at 32%. They don't go. They just stuck to that 32%. So the problem is, and I don't say minorities, the urban people, the immigrants, the Mexicans, the Black, Chaldean, whoever they are, I don't care, Middle Eastern. It seems like they don't like voting. It seems like, how can Donald Trump, example, more power to him, he's president, comes in and wins Michigan, when Michigan was voting Democratic.
Well, I think it's
Congress
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think one is the fact that there was a lack of enthusiasm for Hillary Clinton. I also think it's the fact that she kind of really didn't organize like she should have had in Michigan.
Well, she thought she won before the race was over?
Yeah, she thought she had it, kind of really didn't put the work in. She didn't even come to Michigan till late and didn't even go to Wisconsin till late. So I think there's that aspect of it. I think it's an enthusiasm gap. But like I said earlier, I also think it's voter purging as well.
This weekend, there was a protest in downtown Detroit over taxation. I only seen that in a dictatorship country. How do you overtax people?
Man, I think this is the problem that's been going on for a long time. They could have, what was surprising to me is that they had the emergency manager in 2013 that was there. They could have corrected this and they didn't. I think it's a tragedy that folks are not going to be able to get money back.
Why 75 people showed up?
Well, for me, it was more than 75. What I heard, it was 400 people that showed up.
That sounds
so it was a lot more people that showed up. People are really fired up about this. I'm sure the administration has some sort of solutions. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
So
they're not going to get money,
what's an overtax, Senator? What is the overtax?
Well, the overtax.
I heard a lot of IRS come after me for about
No, we're not
overtax,
talking
but
about that. We're
overtax.
talking about where people are paying more than what the properties were.
That's
They
what
were
I'm
giving, they
talking
were
about.
getting over-assessed. And so as a result, they were supposed to do this. It's under the Constitution. I think it's Article 9, Section 3. It was a clear
So what,
violation
they want their
of that.
money back?
So people want their money back,
How
but
they
they
gonna
can't.
get
They're
this
not
money?
going to get it back.
Oh, they're not getting
The city is not offering that back. I think they're offering property tax abatements. I think they have a program for some
So
properties.
you think the mayor and the council in the city of Detroit and whoever is in power, they overtax them, you think they'll be getting their money back?
Well, look, here's the thing.
Or state senators?
Let me answer it like this. There has to be some sort of restitution for these folks.
Yeah,
Something has to happen. I'm sure the city will have to find out and fix it. We'll have to wait and see.
What about this virus?
Wash your hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. You know, make sure you're clean. You know, get that hand sanitizer out there. Wear that hazmat
You
suit.
think the city of Detroit's got a plan?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they got a plan.
They're going to have places where people can go, like.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's going to get that bad. I hope it doesn't get that bad. I'm sure they'll
already
probably
hurting the
find
economy,
something.
it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we have tech companies that are closing up left and right. You know, it's going on across the
Anytime
globe.
the economy
Italy.
gets hurt, the people on the bottom get hurt
I think the
first.
Dow dropped by like 800-some points, 600-some points.
3,000
Yeah,
over the
man,
last couple
it's
days.
crazy.
Well, thank you, Senator. Looking forward to be with you some more. Maine Senator Coleman Young Jr. We usually do podcasts 50-50. You see us on YouTube and everywhere else, but I want to thank you for being here to come on this short notice.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. This John Zia Oram Show is going to be about the news and politics and community. So we are here with you and for you. God bless you. Thank you so much.